The Talking Cheeseheads on cheeseheadtalk.com.
So I got to tell you, Saturday night, I was feeling pretty good. I really was. I went to bed a little early. I went to bed before the kicking competition. Okay, so I have to foreshadow this a little bit to where my feelings were about the Green Bay Packers on Saturday night. I had to get up early. I went to bed. I know in some circles you're thinking, wow, Ben, you're really lame, and you would be correct, but I had to get up with the kids. Long story. So, I'm feeling good. Eddie Lacy, he's my guy. Packer running game all told looks really good. You're finishing runs. You're getting to the second level. No injuries, right? No injuries on Saturday night. That's what we saw. So I wake up Sunday morning. I read the accounts of the game, feeling even better. A little tinge because I said, Mason Crosby. We'll get to that in a minute. But then of course last night and into this morning, the thud drops. You know what's even worse than an ACL injury or a season-ending injury is the fact that you don't see it coming. Like a lot of times, you'll see a guy's knee bend in a way which makes the food in your stomach move upwards. That didn't happen with Bryan Bulaga. In fact, he played the entire scrimmage reportedly after he, I guess, tore his ACL. Now, as we sit here and talk about this today, he's going to go see famed Dr. James Andrews, who has operated on everybody with an ACL. What a niche for that guy, right? He does well. But anyway, Bulaga's going to him for a second opinion, which is good because I'm sure Bryan Bulaga's thinking, I can walk on this thing. I could play on this thing. I'm sure he's as hurt and confused as anybody else. But Packers saying it looks like a ACL to sources say. Nobody's even confirmed it because the Packers went skeet shooting instead of practicing, which, got to build the chemistry. But Bulaga is looking like done for the season, which, again, hurts even more because it's almost like the big surprise. You can see sometimes when a guy gets hurt, okay, but this is just like, oh, come on, man. And the one guy besides Aaron Rodgers probably on this team, probably besides Rodgers and Clay Matthews, that you said, boy, can't have anything happen. And you would have figured that the law of averages was on his side because he missed the final 9 games last year, and he said, okay, you're not going to get hurt again for a while because that's usually the way that works. Hey, football gods, you hear me? Anyway, he's out. All likelihood, he's out. So now Packers have 2 big problems. One, what do you do at left tackle? 55 sacks last year. You know who can't go to left tackle? You know who shouldn't even be in the conversation no matter what? Marshall Newhouse should not be in the conversation. He's had plenty of opportunity at left tackle. He's proven he can't play left tackle. Aaron Rodgers has never publicly criticized him. Aaron Rodgers probably thinking, how about that David Bakhtiari kid? How about the rookie from Colorado who has clearly outclassed Marshall Newhouse at right tackle? So why would you put Marshall Newhouse at left tackle knowing that this kid from Colorado, the rookie, albeit a rookie, but what are we playing with here? We're playing with what we got. The rookie has to move over, right? Because if he's killing Marshall Newhouse at right tackle, he's going to kill Marshall Newhouse at left tackle anyway. So you got to play with what you got. You can't go on the street and sign a left tackle. Doesn't happen. It's a position of great value in the NFL. I heard some talk this morning about the Packers now scratching the whole plan with the offensive line. No. Everybody's getting accustomed to what they're doing. The plan was more than just about Bulaga. You're going to have to do what you're going to have to do. Is it going to be as good as Bulaga? Probably not, but he's going to have to play there. Talking about David Bakhtiari from Colorado. Okay? That's got to be the plan. If I see Marshall Newhouse over there, even in a preseason game, I'm going to, throw things. I might buy one of those Packer bricks. You remember those things? I used to have one when I was in middle school, and I'd throw it at the TV when I remembered. Most of the time I'd just scream and throw fits, but that's what I'm going to do, okay? So, no, it's got to be Bakhtiari. It's really your only option. And I don't know that Marshall Newhouse should be on the field. Maybe at right tackle, maybe. But I like Barkley instead. I mean, honestly, the guy, he gave up 11 sacks last year, 1/5 of the team's sacks. He gave up, it's sad that 11, by the way, was 1/5 of the team's sacks, only 1/5. But anyway, he gave up 11 last year. He gave up 10.5 the year before. He can't do it. So let's scrap that plan and go with what you got. Good news is Packers have time. Like I said before, you can't go on the street and get a left tackle. You know what you can go on the street to get? A kicker. We've got some time here. I get it. But Mason Crosby his problem's not with the way he's swinging his leg. Problem's not, any technique. I mean, maybe it is. Whatever. So is my golf game. You know what my bigger problem on the golf course is? My head. I'm a head case. Okay, always have been. You know what Mason Crosby is? Head case. You know what he's always been a little bit of? Head case. Just a little, even if we don't want to admit it. He was good, but he could, I don't know. Did you ever really trust him in the clutch, ever? Certainly didn't trust him beyond 50 yards, which is fine. I had more of a problem with Mike McCarthy putting him out there with 50-plus yard field goals just because he has the leg. But is he not done right now? I mean, I know we haven't played a preseason game yet. Could he find a way to turn it around? I suppose. Would you trust him if he did turn it around? I wouldn't. No way. I'm so sorry. And this Trevecchio kid who doesn't have a leg, so what? So you can only try field goals in November, December from 45 yards and in or 40 yards and in. Again, at this point, unless you bring somebody else in, maybe Ryan Longwell's still willing to kick. He could probably only kick from 35 yards in. But unless you're willing to bring somebody else in, which they're going to have to be willing to do, you've got to go with Trevecchio. Or, again, how do you pronounce it? Mike McCarthy's probably going to have to learn his name pretty quickly because I think his name's Giorgio, and Mike McCarthy called him Sergio last week, which to me meant that McCarthy didn't take him seriously. Well, after the scrimmage and after these kicking battles in camp, you better start taking this guy seriously because Mason Crosby, there is something going on between his ears, and it's not good. And it doesn't seem like it's going to get better because if it hasn't gotten better in a year and a half, it's probably not going to be better. And you can't do this. I mean, you can't do this if you're the Packers. Kickers get a lot of abuse, probably deservedly so. Come on. There's a lot of guys out there that can do a lot better than Mason Crosby's doing right now. You cannot have this guy on the team this year if this is going to be the case. I'm not saying anything that's not painfully obvious. I hope. So those are the two main problems that we see for the Packers. After, again, Saturday night, I felt good going to bed. I slept soundly. I don't think so tonight. I don't think Mike McCarthy's going to sleep too soundly tonight either. We're going to have to figure some stuff out. But there is one positive thing, and that's Eddie Lacy, the new Hall of Fame running back for the Green Bay Packers. Go, Eddie, go.
The Talking Cheeseheads on cheeseheadtalk.com.